welcome to Global Hub Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. On a humid November morning, Indonesia signed a $9 billion deal with Beijing for 48 J-10C fighter jets. This bold move signals Jakarta's pivot in global power dynamics, choosing China over the West. It's not just about hardware, it's about shifting influence in Southeast Asia. The region's strategic landscape will never be the same. Indonesia's geography is its greatest challenge, over 17,500 islands stretching 5,000 kilometers, straddling vital sea lanes like the Strait of Malacca. Defending this vast archipelago requires a military that's flexible, mobile, and able to project power across immense distances. The Air Force is critical, tasked with patrolling maritime zones, intercepting threats, and supporting ground and naval forces. Indonesia faces threats from piracy, illegal fishing, separatism, terrorism, and overlapping claims in the South China Sea. A modern air force must be versatile, capable of high-intensity combat, long-range patrol, and rapid response. Aircraft must be robust, affordable, and able to operate from remote, underdeveloped air bases. The logistical chain must be resilient and cost-effective. For Jakarta, the ideal fighter isn't just the most advanced, it's the one that can impose Indonesian will across its complex domain. Every defense acquisition is judged by its ability to meet these unique operational demands. The J-10C deal is shaped by this relentless geographical reality. Indonesia's security depends on persistent, sustainable air power across its sprawling territory. The Indonesian Air Force has always mirrored the nation's fiercely independent foreign policy. Its hangars have housed Soviet MiGs, American F-5s, and Russian Sukhois, a deliberate strategy to avoid over-reliance on any one supplier. The Sukarno era saw Soviet hardware dominate, making Indonesia a southern hemisphere air power. Under Suharto, the shift to American aircraft brought new doctrine and logistics, but also new vulnerabilities. The 1990s U.S. arms embargo over East Timor left much of the fleet grounded, a bitter lesson in dependency. Indonesia diversified again, acquiring Russian flankers, but this created logistical headaches with multiple supply chains. The Air Force became a patchwork of American, European, and Russian systems, resilient, but complex and costly. The J-10C deal is shaped by these scars. Indonesia seeks autonomy, not perfection. Introducing Chinese systems is just another step in a long tradition of pragmatic integration. The goal isn't a streamlined force, but one that can't be crippled by any single nation's political whims. Strategic autonomy remains Jakarta's guiding principle. The J-10C isn't a stealth fighter, but it's a highly capable, affordable multi-role platform, perfect for Indonesia's needs. Its advanced ISA radar and PL-15 long-range missiles give Indonesia a leap in air combat capability. The deal includes training, armaments, and crucially, technology transfer. Beijing will help establish local maintenance and overhaul facilities. This promises self-sufficiency, addressing painful lessons from past embargoes. The J-10C's operational profile fits Indonesia's geography-adequate range, lower operational costs, and the ability to fly frequent patrols. For a nation needing persistent presence across a massive territory, the J-10C is a pragmatic, tailored solution. It's not about glamour, it's about reliability, versatility, and sustainable power projection. The partnership with China offers industrial cooperation the West was reluctant to match. For Jakarta, the vigorous Dragon is more than a jet, it's a tool for strategic independence. The choice of the J-10C wasn't made lightly. Western contractors, especially from the US and France, offered formidable alternatives. The US proposed the advanced F-16 Viper, while France offered the Rafale, both gold standards in modern air power. But these offers came with strings attached. US sales are subject to congressional approval, human rights scrutiny, and shifting political winds. Indonesia, with its independent foreign policy, found this uncertainty unacceptable. Memories of the 1990 Brabber Alberbriber and Rhindays. Ender stopper Bramberang Naratintamantur Burde Adurbangradurd Amperida. The French Rafale was attractive, but prohibitively expensive for the numbers Jakarta needed. Indonesia's defense budget demanded quantity as well as quality. The Western offers failed to align with Indonesia's core priorities: autonomy, technology transfer, and affordability at scale. The US offer carried too much political risk. The French offer was too costly. Neither matched China's promise of deep industrial partnership and local production. The West sold products, China sold a partnership. For a nation determined to build its own defense industry, Beijing's less conditional package was irresistible. The J-10C deal is as much about breaking cycles of dependency as it is about acquiring jets. Jakarta chose the path that offered the most control over its own destiny. The decision marks a turning point in how Indonesia approaches its security and alliances. China's victory was no accident. It offered what Indonesia needed most: no political strings, attractive financing, and real technology transfer. Beijing's transactional approach meant Jakarta could modernize without lectures on human rights or forced alignment in great power rivalries. Favorable financial terms, possibly including low-interest loans and commodity swaps, made the $9 billion price tag manageable. The promise of local maintenance and co-production fit President Jokowi's vision for a homegrown defense industry. Western offers rarely match this depth of partnership. Proximity and shared economic interests also played a role. China is Indonesia's largest trading partner. While disputes remain, both nations benefit from regional stability and growth. By integrating Chinese technology, Indonesia gains leverage with both Beijing and Washington. The deal is a masterclass in strategic hedging. Jakarta increases its value to both giants, ensuring it can't be ignored. Indonesia's embrace of Chinese military aviation sends shockwaves through Southeast Asia. Neighbors like Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines now see a new precedent. China is a top-tier arms supplier, not just Russia or the West. Within ASEAN, Indonesia's pivot could create new divisions, especially with US-aligned members like the Philippines and Singapore. Some worry about compromised interoperability and intelligence sharing. For Vietnam, the move is both a counterweight to China and a reminder of Beijing's growing influence. Australia, too, must rethink its defense planning as its northern neighbor fields advanced Chinese jets. The region's strategic environment is shifting from clear alliances to a fluid, unpredictable, multipolar reality. The J-10C deal fundamentally alters the calculus for every nation from Canberra to Hanoi. The South China Sea is where this deal's impact will be felt most. Indonesia, long careful in its stance, now has 48 J-10Cs with long-range missiles to enforce sovereignty around the Natuna Islands. Chinese vessels must now contend with a credible Indonesian aerial threat. The J-10C puts Indonesia on par with, or ahead of, many regional air forces, and on the same technological footing as China. This dynamic could enable future cooperation or make confrontations more complex. For the US Navy, Indonesia's new jets complicate operational security and intelligence in the region. Friendly forces now operate platforms similar to those of potential adversaries, blurring lines on the electronic battlefield. The J-10C empowers Indonesia to be an independent, influential player in the South China Sea. It's no longer a bystander, it's a stakeholder with the power to shape events. By arming itself with the dragon's own claws, Indonesia is betting it can deter the dragon and redefine the region's security architecture. Indonesia's $9 billion purchase of Chinese jets is more than an arms deal. It's a defining moment in its quest for strategic maturity. Jakarta is betting it can integrate Chinese technology without falling into Beijing's orbit, and distance itself from Western dependency without alienating old partners. The risks are real integration challenges, uncertain technology transfer, and possible cooling of US ties. But the rewards are significant: a resilient, multi-sourced military and a stronger domestic defense industry. By showing it has alternatives, Indonesia gains leverage with all partners. The US may offer better terms. China must treat Jakarta as a true partner, not a client. This is 21st century statecraft. They're fluid, and middle powers have more agency than ever. Indonesia isn't choosing China over the West, it's choosing itself. Radical pragmatism guides its strategy: defend its interests, on its terms, with whoever offers the best deal. The archipelago is determined to be the master of its own destiny, navigating the Indo-Pacific by its own skill and resolve.